Hi, welcome to Pause with Coach K. I'm Coach K, where we pause, reflect, heal, and grow through real life conversations. Here's what's been sitting with me. Why do we stay in situations we know that are hurting us? Why do we do it? Think about it for a moment. Why do we stay in relationships that drain us? Been there, done that. Why do we stay in friendships that only take and never pour back? Why do we stay in environments that rob us of our peace? If we're honest, most of us have stayed longer than we should have at one point or another. Lord knows I've done that. The question is why? Looking back on my own life, I've realized there were seasons when I knew something wasn't healthy, but I stayed anyway. Not because I didn't see the signs, not because I didn't feel the weight. I stayed because leaving meant facing the unknown. I stayed out of fear. Sometimes we stay because we're hoping people will change. That's what happened to me. I was hoping people would change. Sometimes we stay because we've invested so much time and energy that walking away feels like failure. That's happened to me as well. Sometimes we stay because we're afraid of disappointing people. Can you relate? Sometimes we stay because we're comfortable with what's familiar. Even when it's familiar, the familiar is hurting us. Been there. And sometimes we stay because we've convinced ourselves we can handle one more day. We convince ourselves we can do one more conversation. We convince ourselves we can endure one more disappointment. We convince ourselves we can do one more chance, one more opportunity, until one more become months, they become years. But here's what I've learned. Pain isn't always the hardest thing to leave. Pain isn't the hardest thing to leave sometimes. Sometimes it's familiarity. We get attached to routines. We get attached to people. We get attached to potential. We fall in love with who we hope someone would be instead of accepting who they've constantly shown themselves to be over and over again. We fall in love with people with potential while ignoring patterns. Patterns tell us the truth. Potentials tell us the story we want to believe. Every reason we stay is because we confuse loyalty with self-sacrifice. Point blank. There's a difference between loyalty, what it should be, and what it is. Loyalty should never require you or I to lose ourselves. Never. Love should never require you or I to abandon our peace. Helping someone should never require us to neglect our own well-being. It shouldn't. If staying is costing you your peace, your joy, your confidence, your emotional health, you have to ask yourself a hard question. What exactly am I holding on to? I mean, really, what are you holding on to? Healing sometimes requires us to grieve the version of life we hope would happen. Oh my. Been there, done that. Not because we're giving up, but because we're accepting reality. Acceptance is not weakness. Acceptance is wisdom. It allows you to stop fighting what is and stop building what can be. Simple. One of the hardest truths I've learned is this. You cannot heal in the same place that constantly hurts you. Sometimes growth requires distance. Sometimes it just requires you to get out. Sometimes growth requires boundaries, drawing a line in the sand. Sometimes growth requires letting go. Just let it go. So here's my question for you today. Is there a situation in your life you've outgrown, but you're still holding on to it? What's keeping you there? Is it fear? Is it guilt? Is it hope? Is it comfort or something else? Those are hard questions, but they're necessary. Be honest with yourself, because honesty is where healing begins. We cannot change what we don't acknowledge. We can't. If we can't see it, we can't fix it. This week, I want you to write down one situation that's weighing on your heart. And ask yourself 3 questions. Is it helping me grow? Is it bringing me peace? Is it moving me closer to the person God is calling me to be? If the answer is no, pray about what your next step should be. Prayer is always the key. You don't have to make a decision today, but don't ignore what you've already been feeling. Sometimes the bravest things you'll ever do is admit that what you're holding on to is the very thing that's holding you back. Choose peace today. Choose healing. Choose growth. If this hit home for you today, drop a heart in the comments. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. And tell me your thoughts below. I love to hear from you. Follow me on Dream Out Loud with 2 Ds and Kenya Whitehurst on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube for more real conversations about healing and growth. You can watch the full episode of this video in the link below on the YouTube channel. Remember this, healing is a journey. Growth is intentional. And your story still matters. No matter what you think, no matter what other people say, you matter. Thanks for watching. This is Coach Gay. Until next time, keep healing, keep growing, keep moving, and keep going forward. God bless.